retreated through Whitmore's hometown in Massachusetts. Whitmore picks up his musket to defend his town. He puts 2 dueling pistols and a sword in his belt, and off he goes to join the other colonial Minutemen. He selects a position behind a stone wall and waits. The other Minutemen fire and fall back to reload. Whitmore waits until the redcoats are at point-blank range. He stands and kills 1 British soldier with his musket. He draws and fires his pistols, killing another redcoat instantly and wounding another so badly that he dies later. He draws his sword and attacks. All of this at the tender young age of 80 years old. Now, the British must have thought that this single patriot would be easy to finish off. Whitmore is shot in the face, knocking him down. He tries to get up with his sword, and another British soldier bashes him in the head with the butt of his musket. While Whitmore is helpless on the ground, British soldiers bayonet him 13 times. Now, those bayonets were about 17 inches long. They must have thought that he was done for because they left him behind and marched on. But he recovered and lived to be 98 years old, dying of natural causes. So our Bible passage today is about another fight for freedom. There's a fight and the story of Jesus who went to the cross to save us from sin and death. And even though he was left for dead, he rose and did so much more for us. In this battle, in his battle for freedom, Jesus stood alone. When he went to the garden to pray, Matthew chapter 26, verses 36 through 46, tells us that he prayed alone. He could not get his disciples to stay awake for 1 hour. Matthew chapter 26, verses 55 and 56 tells us that when Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane, all his disciples deserted him. When he was taken through a series of illegal trials, Jesus stood alone against his accusers. When they nailed him to the cross, Jesus was alone. Jesus came into this world to set sinners free. But can you believe that there are some people that don't want to be set free by Jesus? Just as there were some Americans who didn't want to be free and remain loyal to the British monarchy. The colonists wished to remain under the King of England. Many of them wanted to take a middle-of-the-road position. Doesn't that sound like many people today? There are many today who want nothing to do with Jesus. They think they are better off without him in their lives. There are many who would rather remain under the rule of Satan. They also want to take a middle of the road position. Many today say they believe in Jesus, that there is Jesus, and they'll get saved someday. However, they want to put it off until they get older. The fight for freedom requires a sacrifice. When Jesus cried out, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit," and breathed his last breath, he was the sacrifice for us. There is a sacrifice that we can make, and that is by living a life that is holy, acceptable to God. We should be his soldiers of the cross. Being a soldier in the colonial army meant lots of suffering. But in spite of those hardships, those colonial soldiers kept fighting for the freedom of others. Do we know that kind of commitment in our churches today? Unfortunately, not very often. People quit coming to church over trivial things. People won't work in the church like they should. Far too many people don't want to leave their comfort zones. They come to church on Sunday, but that's about as far as their commitment goes. If the colonial soldiers had fought back then, like many church people today fight the devil, we'd still be under the rule of the British. It's no wonder that many churches today are closing their doors. In Arlington, Massachusetts, where Samuel Whitmore stood his ground, there is a marble monument in his honor. On this day, let us take time to remember another who sacrificed his blood to set us free. And his monument is the old rugged cross. Amen.
Amen.
Let us close with the old rugged cross. face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.